Hey, welcome back everybody. This is M-Dog. And I am fishing on my main account right now. We are going to try fishing on a marine Paternoster rig. In fact, that will be pretty much the title or the main focus of this little video. But that is not all an indication of me being an expert on this rig, as I have really just unlocked it in the past week and gotten very little time to practice it. So I have it set up like this right now: 6.0, 8.0, 10.0. I'm not far enough in the points to be able to put attraction elements. I have shrimp on 2, and then I've got a really huge hook down here with muscle meat, which I think will mean that we will likely not catch anything on that third. I did want to point out though that there's all kinds of stuff you can do with this. Like you can put the artificial lures on here. You can put fish on here. So we'll try to experiment. We can also do lugworm and neuresis along with the shrimp. All of it, from my little bit of testing I've done, seems to work pretty well. So I guess one thing I would love to hear from other folks in the community, if you stumble upon this video, if you've used marine Paternoster rig, what has worked for you? That might be interesting to kind of just put out there and let me know. My sense from just a little bit I've heard from people is that perhaps using shrimp, one use of this rig is to really just kind of find a spot where mackerel are biting and catch mackerel with a really good bite rate. So yeah, let me know if that's right, if that's been people's experience, or if you've done other things with this rig. And like I said, we'll try to test a few things out here while I'm recording. But we're going to start off down here at 41, and then I thought we might even go to either 80 or 55, not to fish at depth though, but just to fish at like 35 meters. Again, to try to hit some mackerel or something. But let's just throw it out. One of the cool things that I like about this rig is that if you catch something, you can actually see which, ooh, that was fast. You can actually see which bait it came on. So I'll see if I can show you what I mean here. All right, let's see if we can lift this up enough. Okay, so you can see it's on the middle bait. So it's on the shrimp, right? And then if we look at the pollock in our keep net, we should be able to see that we caught it off shrimp. So especially if we had 3 different baits, we would always be able to tell which bait the fish went on, even if you visually don't see it. But it does visually show you. It's cool. You can actually see it. So like I think with this setup, it's very likely that we'll always catch something on shrimp before we catch something on mussel. But I just thought it'd be fun to throw mussel on there and just see. All right, so it's on the bottom now. Still no bite. And then we're just gonna, yeah. This has been my experience, is that you just catch a fish really quick on this. So let's see, what else could we do? I'll just probably switch it up a good bit just so we can start trying to notice trends and stuff. All right, let's see if this was on shrimp again. Yep, there's shrimp once again. All right, so let's take shrimp off. So let's put a squid on there, and let's put a small fillet, and let's just throw it right back in. I would think this would slow the bite rate down. The only thing out of these that I think could get a bite pretty quick is the small fillet. Other than that, it feels like the mussel, I don't even know if anything's going to bite the mussel, to be honest with you. I assume that it could, but between the mussel and the squid, the natural lure, those are probably going to be much slower bite rate, but we'll see. We'll see how this plays out. All right, we're going to try to jig it. I assume that's what we want to do. Frankly, when I've had shrimp on and the other stuff, the bites have happened so quick I haven't even really... Oh, there we go. All right. So let's see what this is. If it was the small fillet, I may switch that to a large fillet. We'll see. I kind of want to just see, like, yeah, what different baits and different lures and stuff will do. All right, let's lift it up. I can't tell. Yeah, it's on the small fillet, right? Ooh. Cool. Okay. So let's see. This should tell us small fillet. Okay. So that's what we thought would happen. Let's switch this to a large fillet. Again, slowing the bite rate down a little bit more. See what happens. All right, it's at the bottom. No bite. All right, let's see if we can just keep it in that. Ooh, wow, that was quick. Oh, it fake bite. So I will say, in my experience, I get more fake bites on this rig than anything else I've fished with on this map. In just my little bit of experience. That was a pretty fast bite, though, considering the baits we have on there. Let's see what happens. It's also getting late. It's also getting to be nighttime. So that could start slowing the bite down, too. All right, there we go. All right, we kept it on there. So now let's see. Again, seems small. Doesn't it just kind of seem like this is a way to get small fish? Is what the rig feels like so far, but you know, I may just need to set it up in a different way. All right, let's look and see if we can tell. Looks like it's at the top, right? Yeah, so it's off that lure. So there's some safe. Let's double check that I was right. Yep, that was a real squid. All right. So let's put the fluoro octopus on there. We'll keep everything else. So actually, does it get too heavy if we load this up with a huge fillet? Yeah, it gets too heavy. What if we change this? What if we change this? I mean, that huge fillet is just so heavy. That's actually our max. Yeah, we're not going to ever be able to use that. So we'll do 2 large fillets and the octopus. I mean, I think what that means is we'll just... Let's do this. Let's do this. All right. So we've got muscle meat and 2 large fillets. So in terms of where this is on marine fishing, I unlocked this at 65%. Now at 70% we can use bottom rigs with rattling sinkers. I'll have to see what that's about. But then at 70% we can also start using the attraction elements, which is probably pretty cool. Maybe even increases the bite rate further, or maybe allows you to target a little bit bigger fish. I don't know. So far, what I feel like this rig allows you to do is try to target something like mackerel or smaller fish and then just have like a really good bite rate. All right, so we did attract something a little bit bigger on probably one of our large fillets. I mean, I say that just because I've not seen the muscle meat actually work yet. We know what this is, right? Well, I don't know for sure, but it feels a lot like a mid-sized cusk to me. It's not that big, but cusks just kind of seem to be able to anchor themselves in the water pretty well. So if it's at the top, okay, it's definitely at the bottom. That was a haddock. We got rank 1 marine fishing. That's cool. Oh, so it was a different lure, different bait. Okay. So that was cool. All right. So let's go back to... I actually think we need to go, yeah, smaller size hook. So now let's go to all the small baits. Shrimp, lugworm, nereis. I don't know how you say it. So this should be a really good bite rate, especially during the day, I would say. I mean, I'm not sure at night what this will be like, but I would think this would pretty consistently be a good bite rate, but consistently be small fish as well. That would be my prediction based on a little bit of experience I've had with it. By the way, did we get a point? 65.7 maybe? I can't remember for sure. We should be at the bottom. Have we drifted? Not too far. All right. Yeah, a little slower at night, right? All right, let's see what this is. And maybe since it's nighttime, we use this time to move to another spot. And maybe try using this kind of setup, or eventually maybe like all 3 shrimp setup at a higher elevation somewhere else. See if we can really target some mackerel or something. All right, what do we got here? It's on the bottom one. It's on the lug, or the... All right. Oh, shoot, I shouldn't have released it. And then I could have confirmed. But we know it was at the bottom. It was on the nearest. The like the weird thing is this is also the smallest hook. So that could also affect its likelihood to catch something. All right, so let's go. Still kind of thinking about this. Do we want to go 80 or 55? Actually, maybe we stop in here first. This F8 little place here. Since it's still going to be overnight for a while, just kind of see what happens there. Especially since it's nighttime, let's anchor it with an octopus. Do I have more lugworm? I've got a little bit more of that, so let's do it like that. Alright, here we go. Alright, and the wind is coming out of the west. Let's see. A couple things I want to see here. I want to see how deep it is. It should be around 90, I would think, in terms of depth. But let's check that and see. I'm just not sure if there's a reason to fish at higher depth at night. There still could be. I don't know. But I've wondered about this spot. I've seen a couple people post about this little area here, and I've never fished here, so I thought, hey, let's just go ahead and check the depth while we're here. See if I'm right on. So I thought around 90. Yeah, it's 95. All right. See if we can get a bite here. I'm not even sure if you can jig step or anything with it. If nothing else, we're just keeping it moving in the bottom layer. By the way, I should mention you do have to use a boat rod to do this rig. I'm fairly certain on that. If you have a what do they call them? A pilker rod. I don't think you can actually set this rig up. The Marine Paternoster. All right, so we are not getting a bite here, at least not at the bottom. But it is close to 100. Now, what if we stopped this at like 40 or 35? Just gave it a moment like that. The thing I think that's going to be hard about doing it this way is that we won't ever get a, you know, that we're fishing in a certain way. It doesn't seem like you can get any fishing techniques with this rig. Marine Paternoster rig. Let's see what it says about the rig when you go to change it. You know how it always gives you a description? We'll see if that gives us any clues to really what this is meant to be used for. I'm sitting here second guessing myself. Do we actually want to fish with this at 35 meters or whatever when we're not going to get... All right. Marine Paternoster is possible to install up to 3 sidearms. The bait lure is mounted. The rig is very effective when fishing for schooling fish such as redfish or mackerel. I don't think we can use fire gummies yet. Oh, I could be wrong though. Lures or marine lures? I could be wrong about that. Color octopus 21, 23, 23. $23.06. I should have looked at this. Sorry guys, I should have looked at this before we came out here. All right, so it kind of looked like that, right? probably always catch it on the squid. I mean on the shrimp, but alright, so let's just try this. I don't know that I don't know. I just don't know. I do know that the sun is up. That's a good sign. I guess if we don't catch anything out here, we'll go over to 34 for a minute. So I need to get some of those larger soft lures, it looks like. I also need to double check that, because I think those gummy, whatever they are, lures, I think that's something that I unlock. Gummy Mac. I'm not sure. All right. So I don't think we want this to go down to the bottom. Although if it doesn't work at surface, then we'll try it at the bottom. I actually wonder if we'll get, if we're going to catch something, if we're more likely just to catch it on the drop. I think I'm going to stop it at 35 though. And then just kind of give it a little bit of movement here and there. It is still 3:47 in the morning. It's early. It's deceiving. It looks like it's daylight now. But it's actually pretty early. Why don't we let it drop all the way and then fish at the bottom, and then by then it'll be late enough that I'll trust the results at higher elevations more. Sometimes it's what you got to do, just get out there and experiment. But I know a lot of you have had this rig opened up a lot longer than I have, so you may have some good suggestions. Although, again, during the day especially, it's working really good at 41 and at 34. I've tried it at 34 too, just with those small baits and stuff. All right. Oh yeah. Oh shoot, see what I mean? Fake bites all the time. I don't know if there's something to really do about that either. May just come with the territory on this rig, I don't know. All right, we got it and we kept, ooh. I've got it locked up, so I gotta be careful here. It's one of those fish that was just like, nope, I'm gonna stay on the bottom, thank you. So curious what this is gonna be. That was going up too fast. What have we got here? All kinds of questions here. What did we catch, and then what did we catch it on? Which of our 3 baits? One of our lures, or was it the shrimp? I think we've at least worn it out enough to keep the reel locked for now. I'll try to be quick if it pops up again, but... Goodness. It's putting a lot of strain on this rod. It's a lot of strain on the fish too, though. It's kind of impressive. That was stupid. Go to the drink menu while my reel is locked up like that. Imagine pulling it up and it's like multiple fish on. Each of the lures have a different fish on. I know it seems like it's taking forever to reel, but if I put it in normal gear, oh, if I put it in normal gear, it wasn't pulling it at all. I'm not going to let it run. I'm going to either get it in or it's going to pop it. I mean, I won't be stupid about it, but I'm just, in general, we're going to keep it locked at this point. It's just putting up a fight because of how close we have it now. Oh my word. Okay. Take it while we can. See if we can get it up to 10 here before it starts doing its thing again. All right, there's 10. And there's 5. All right, we got to be really careful here at the end. I probably will unlock my reel. See if we can... it's not on the shrimp. That was not on the shrimp, was it? All right. What if we... Let's just pull it straight out of the water if we can. Ooh. Halibut. All right, so that was on the natural squid 1206. The bottom one. All right, let's try. It's obviously full on daytime at this point. Let's try this right around 30, 35, I guess. We're not going to go to the bottom again out here. Scary things are in the water. We're trying to get a school of fish towards the surface. There we go. All right, so this is kind of what we were expecting. This is what I was expecting to see happen. Oh, I need to. We need to change this gear ratio, don't we? Let's put it into high gear. All right, that's also on the natural squid 1206. All right, 7641. Yeah, that's what I thought. Actually, I'm going to do this. All right, we're at 40. We're back at 35. Okay. All right. All right, that one was on the shrimp, right? And it was a mackerel. Let's double check. Yep, shrimp. Okay. So this is what I want to try. 6-0 shrimp, 8-0 shrimp, 4-0 shrimp. Just throw it right in front of us. Keep it around 35. See if we can hit the mackerel. And with using this setup, since everything's a little lighter, we could have a little heavier weight on there and still be within test, which might help it drop to 35 a little more quickly. I don't know. We'll see how good the bite rate is, if that would be worth doing potentially. Okay. I predict it's another mackerel. Not that there won't be bycatch, but my sense is that this is sort of like a way to target mackerel. Now we don't have to slow down to see. All right, there's a safe. We don't have to slow down to see which bait it's on because all the bait are the same. All right. There we go. Nope. And this might be a matter of spot, not technique. It's not quite as good a bite rate as I expected with loaded up with shrimp like this. But again, that very well could be spot. Tiny. What is this? Very small. Ooh. 65.8 by the way. Alright, I like that. Alright, one last thing we'll do before we wrap this video up is go try the 34 meter hole. Yeah, sardine, something else you wouldn't be surprised to catch on this kind of setup, right? Alright, we'll try shrimp first, but then I want to mix it. Actually, not just shrimp. Let's try lugworm and nearus as well. Yeah, if you've used this rig, let me know what kind of results you've had or how you've approached it. I'm really curious. You know, just because it's the most recent rig I've unlocked, I tend to think, it might be worth using if I can get on a good bite rate. Maybe a little bit higher chance of unlocking points. I do think we're primarily catching smaller fish, a lot of bait fish. Not necessarily a good way to make silver or XP, but the biggest thing I still need to do is level up marine fishing. That's probably one of the more important things I can do right now. All right, let's get it out there and see what happens. So now that we're over the 34 meter hole, we can both fish at the bottom, but also be fishing at obviously not a very deep location here. Should translate to pretty good fishing, but we'll see. All right, pretty quick result there. And I wonder if, since we're fishing at the bottom in a shallower area, if we're more likely to see some variety. I'm going to just flip the fish up and we'll look in the net to see what we caught them on. 20 and 22. This may be one reason not to do this, is because we may end up catching a lot more sculpin. All right, that was on the shrimp. I kind of want to try the octopus again, except here. But we'll do one more cast, at least, with this just very basic bait approach here. Okay. Let's see what we've got. 2022. So we'll be able to tell. That's how we tell if it's a shrimp or one of these baits, because if one of these baits decrease in number, it's a nice thing about this rig is you only use the bait that the fish got caught on. All right, there's a little haddock. And once again, that was on the shrimp. So the shrimp really seemed to be the thing that's working the most, right? All right, so 10-0 is too big for any of those. But it's not too big for this, just in case we randomly catch that. Do that. And then we'll do this. All right, let's just see what we got. trying to force some more interesting fish, but I don't know if it'll work or not. Might be a might require patience on the bite rate, but we'll see. All right. So we are at the bottom, right? Can we get a fish? Ooh. Hey, not bad. We didn't have to wait long at all. Okay, so what did we catch? And what was it on? Hopefully not a sculpin. Nice little haddock. All right, so what was the haddock called on? Natural squid 1206. Seems to be working really well. So I guess the next step would be if we got some of those larger squid. Maybe that's a way we could force some more interesting fish. I don't know. The squid lures, by the way, is what I mean. So we're kind of wasting a spot with this, because the chances that large fillet is going to catch something in this here is probably pretty slim. So maybe we should replace that with a small fillet. Because ultimately, yeah, I want to catch like interesting fish and all that, but also we do want to keep a really good bite rate if our goal is to level up marine fishing. And this is not a good bite rate currently. All right, let's mix it up a little bit. I'll try to catch one or two more fish and then we'll wrap it up. So I guess my thought was, even though we're using such a big hook, let's use a small fillet there. So we've got 2 natural squids, 9-gram variety, and then a small safe fillet. You would think this would pick up the bite rate a little bit. Still not like having shrimp on, but surely a little bit more activity. I don't even know that we need to do all the pumping of the rod and all that. As long as it stays movement in the bottom layer. Isn't that kind of working with these sorts of baits? They're just moving in the current, right? Again, this might be a spot problem or it might be an approach problem. Looks like we're drifting slightly east, maybe? All right, one more experiment. I mean, just let's go back to just shrimp and just see if that gets a pretty quick bite. And so we'll kind of know, was it the spot or was it the approach? All right, so we want to go on the smaller size with hooks. Just gonna load it up with shrimp here. Oh. I could see something like this even working from shore. Possibly, I don't know for sure. I'm just speculating here, but when we're just catching mackerel and stuff with these shrimp, they got to be all over, right? Maybe this is more of a spot, not the approach. Well, there we go. Normally like this, when I throw out these shrimp, it's like almost immediate. This might be another one of the sardines. Oh, it's a whiting. Ooh, that's kind of nice. That's actually kind of nice. If we could get on whiting. All right, did we get another whiting? Whatever we got, it was pretty quick. Nope. Our great enemy. All right. Another sculpin or something more exciting? This is middle of the day fishing with no cloud coverage. It is another sculpin. All right, one more. One more. It's funny that we caught a Atlantic halibut in the midst of all this. Not what I was expecting. Wow. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to beat the bite rate of shrimp, right? Hey, you never know what you're going to see out here in the Norwegian Sea. All right, so there you have it. Marine Paternoster rig. Let me know what you like to use with this rig, if at all. This may be a rig that many of you have decided to avoid, but I want to do some experimenting. I'd used it enough to kind of have some ideas, so thanks for watching, being patient as I try to figure some things out, and look forward to seeing you again soon. Hopefully have some streams coming up very soon. But as always, tight lines, and I will see you then.